another interesting thing about the research phase, or helpful, I should say, and you kind of touched on it, is how it can generate options. And it reminds me of something I may have even heard on the productivity show. I can't remember exactly where I heard this, is that if you're trying to decide between two options, there is always a third option that you haven't thought of yet, and that one could be the right one. So by spending time in the research phase, it allows you to uncover those third options that might not be initially obvious when you're coming up with your vision and then moving on to execution. By spending a bit more time in the research phase, it'll allow you to uncover those. And that's something, when I was in the research phase for my online business, for example, that's something that I did something similar. But it was different for me because I didn't know anybody at the time who was in the doing what I wanted to do. I was working in corporate and all that sort of stuff. So what I did is I reached out to some coaches online, and I didn't do a whole coaching process, but I just uh, did a one-time lightning session just to answer some questions I had. And then the same thing when all of a sudden people were starting to come to me asking about doing consulting and stuff like that. Uh, I didn't really know what to do. So again, I knew someone else who did do coaching in that kind of area. So I reached out to them, and then did a quick coaching session on that. And that was really, really valuable. And I'm sure I avoided a lot of mistakes that I could have and would have probably otherwise made by doing that. So, there's different ways you can do it. You can, if you have a good network, you can definitely tap that. But if you don't, there's always options if you're willing to invest a little bit of money. But it's, like you said, it's not super necessary.